Mister, I cannot hear you.
What about now? Can you listen to me now?
Now, yes, mister.
Oh, yes. Okay. I guess my headset were not working well. So sorry for it. So thank you for letting me know that, right? That you can listen to me right now. And we're gonna be starting our class in this moment. And well, the question about root words, your question, right, lady? About root words and compound. Compound, let me see. Compound. Compound nouns, no. Compound nouns are not root words. No. Compound nouns are very different because in compound nouns, maybe they are very similar because um, you're thinking about joining two words, right? To give a different meanings. It could be maybe an affix added right there, but oh yes, right, very similar. I was thinking about compound nouns like two different nouns working in a sentence, but now I got it what you want to say, because I was thinking about two different nouns like cake and soda, right? In a sentence, and you say, well, the cake and soda are on the table. That's a compound noun too, right? The compound sentence into a compound, I mean, into a sentence. But you were like thinking about two different kind of noun working together, like bookkeeper. Got it? Bookkeeper is a compound noun. Yes, right. You have added to the keeper the noun book, and now you have a different meaning. That's true. It's an outfit, right? Because we're going to be working today about this. Thank you for the question. Thank you for the question because sunflower, yes, right. Sunflower is now a compound noun. And into these nouns, yes, you are having some affixes. Yes, Marina, what happened? Okay, today is a rainy day, right? And right now I'm not into the house because there are a lot of people right there. So I have to work here in the space provided to me to be working with you because inside the house, you know, a lot of noise, right? So I hope that you can listen to me very well. And if you have any questions, you can ask the question. But if you listen the rainy right maybe because it's a rainy day, just try to focus on myself on my voice, right? You cannot listen to it. But I think yes, the rest one can listen. I think that you're having some problem with your maybe with your internet connection or maybe with your devices, right? Maybe because I was having problem with my headset and nobody could listen at the beginning, but now I think that the majority of you can listen now. So thank you for the question to the lady who asked, right? And yes, your question was very accurate. So yes, wait a minute. Okay, guys, let me see. Just doing something here. Nice. So you know, right? I know maybe you were like watching maybe, or you were like reading. I don't know if you're reading about this, right? Well, it says in here more things, but we're gonna be working on. Sorry for it because we have to work on morphology, right? Maybe this is something new for some of you, maybe, right? But maybe for some of you, this is not so new. A minute. Una pregunta a todos. ¿Me pueden escuchar?
Sí, mister.
Sí.
Yes.
Sí.
Ok. Es que algunos escriben en el chat que no pueden escuchar, pero yo creo que sí, la mayoría puede. Okay, nice. Let me see. So remember, right, this is our class, but it's not only about morphemes because this is just a subtitle, right? But about morphology. And morphology is one of the branches of linguistics. And into phonetics, we have to study something related to for morphology and something related to syntax because they deals with word rights, with that minimal parts or minimal units of words. And I know that some of you are very skillful with this, and you're having a clear idea from previous classes, maybe, or maybe because you're constantly reading, and that's okay. If you're reading a lot, right, you're improving your vocabulary, the way you speak, you're improving how you listen, right? Those minimal parts or minimal units of words. And this is a difficult part in the listening comprehension section, right? Or in the listening comprehension activities, or maybe in the listening comprehension daily talks. Because when you're talking with your teachers, or maybe with your friends, or maybe with a native speaker, if you had that opportunity, because some of you told me the last day that you're having that opportunity to transmit, right, your ideas to native speakers, and that's okay. If you are in a program or in a course like that, so I can encourage you to continue doing so because in this manner you're gonna be improving and you are becoming into a better person, a better professional. So the thing is that if you are learning words, I mean, how the word works, because in this class we're gonna be just making the introduction, right, about morphology. Wait a minute. Nice, Marina. So just the introduction to this branch of linguistics. This is not so complicated, but you have to pay attention. And I know that your work, I know that it's not necessary to tell you that you have to stay reading every day, every moment. Remember, reading is the most important, maybe part in your career. You have to, because when you read, you improve and you acquire. And in this way, we are putting into practice the constructivism framework because remember, constructivism deal with understanding that students improve or learn taking into account the previous knowledge, the previous the previous information they are having from other courses. Because if you cannot understand very well or thoroughly this topic, you can say, well, it is because the teacher, maybe, right? Maybe. Or maybe some of you can say, well, it is because in previous classes I couldn't pay attention. Or maybe it is because in previous classes we didn't study this, right? So constructivism for me in this case will be like telling to me that I have to start working from the introduction. The introduction because I have to remember the previous quiz, right? At the last one that we took at the university. And I discovered how you speak, right? And I like that activity because I got that opportunity to speak with you in front of you. And I like it because you were like without notes, you were like without cell phones, without any device, you were like without your classmates, I mean, whispering you something or telling to you, right, or giving to you something. No, you were like trying to say what you were having in your mind. I like it. Some of you were not able to say correctly what phonetic is. I was thinking about it because or phonology, right, or phonics. You were not able, and it was like this is not so complicated. And I told them at the beginning of the course, and you have to remember what phonetic is because it's like the thesis, right? When you're finishing your career, maybe you're not gonna be working on thesis, but when you are working on thesis, I remember. So we started working with a topic, right, at the beginning of the year, and at the end of the year, um, the let me see, the authorities or the witnesses, right? I mean, those people who are asking to you or who are like evaluating you suddenly ask to you, and what is your topic? So, or what is this? Something that you selected or that you expressed at the beginning, right, of the thesis, and you have to say what is that. And if I say no, I don't remember, or if I say something invented, maybe those authorities will be understanding that you are not very well prepared. So this is something that happened in the test, right, last day, because when you were like trying to say something, and I asked you some basic, I think, and easy questions like the word stress, intonation, the meaning of phonetics, phonics, the meaning of some words, right? But at the same time, I have to say congrats to some of you because you have, and it is very noticeable, right? Some of you have been like reading, working hard. Oh, I don't remember very well how many, I don't remember very well right now, but some of you were like very well and you did a great job. And as I said, right, it is noticeable when you're reading, when students are reading. I like that. Believe me. I like that because I know you're learning something right from the subject. And this is the most important part because you're, as I said, and as I always say, right, you are gonna be the teachers and you're gonna be in front of your student, in front of many people, in front of a group of people in your school, and you're gonna be there without books, right? Without something to read. And maybe someone will be asking to you, what is that? You're gonna be ready to answer. That's the most important part. So guys, right now, test more things in here, but it's about morphology. Let me see, this is our learning competency as always, right? We're having it. And remember, we're having some of these branches of linguistics. The first one that says discourse, it's just part of pragmatics, okay? It's like the A, discourse analysis. Maybe this is something that you haven't studied. Maybe this is something that you will be studying next year, I think. But this is what you have been working on it. As you can see, phonetics, right? Then you have phonology. Then you have morphology. Got it. Then you have syntax. You can see in this order, we have been working on it. First, phonetics, and I explained to you phonetics, right? And I have to continue explaining more about phonetics in these coming Saturdays. Well, just an announcement because this is something that always happens. I give you some announcement during the class like this, right? Today we're not having any evaluated activity. The formative assessment are not evaluated. Are those are for practice just, okay? But the next Saturday we have to return back to the university. We are returning back to university because we have our meter exam number 2. Got it? And we have to go there. And you can say, well, and you're gonna be asking, oh, the whole second period, right? Intonation, word stress, rhythm. The last day I didn't ask you about rhythm. Well, some concepts, right? Basic concepts, minimal pairs, things that we already studied. Okay, this class morphology is not gonna be taken into account for the midterm exam number 2. Morphology will be for the last period, for the third period. Okay, today's class is not gonna be appearing on the test, this coming test, right? But this is the order, phonetics, okay, and this is your subject, speech, sound. Remember, phonetics, how humans transmit the sounds, how the or humans organs, right? Words together to transmit or to say a word, letter. Then you have phonology, right? Then you have morphology, and this is what we have to study today. Everything is very related because the first one is speech sound, the second one phonemes, and the third one words, and that those means. Okay, I don't know what. Wait a minute, because someone is asking me here something. Okay, but now morphology. As you can see, it says in here words, but it is not about word order. Okay, it is not about word order. It's not about um. Let me see. Okay, do not confuse this, right? This is not about subject and complement. This is not about if you're having a negative adverb, which you have to invert the subject and the verb. No, right? This is not about grammar. This is not about um, compositions. This is not about other working let me see, fixing utterances. No, right? This is just about words. How you build the words, how you use the affixes. Today we're gonna be working on it and learning what is an affix, right? Then a prefix, then a suffix, then a root word, then a stem. And so we have to work on it just in the introduction, right? That's what I say that this class is not gonna be so complicated. I think that you're gonna be learning, acquiring the knowledge, right? And the concepts you need. Because all of my classes are either like this, right? I at the beginning I present to you the concepts, the basic concepts to understand, then some exercises, and some of you are acquiring those competencies. In this way, if you're asked, what is morphology? You are able to say, right? After today's class, you're able, right? Or the next class, we're gonna be working on compound, um, morphemes, biomorphemes, free morphemes, and those things, right? We're gonna be learning the next Saturday about this, right? No, the next Saturdays are the metric test, right? I will be dividing the groups, right, into two. So it means that you're not gonna be at the university um, at the same time because we are a lot of students and the classroom is very tiny. So we have to divide the group into two. So continue morphology according to this deals with words. You can see deal with words, deal with minimal parts of 10 words, deal with letters because when you're having two letters, sometimes those letters transmit to you or to others negative expressions, negative feelings, negative statements, or maybe positives, maybe right. And the uses of morphemes are very important in daily spoken English or daily spoken Spanish, if you want to say, because when you're using it, you are like changing the meaning of the sentence, right? You are changing the meaning of messages. Because um, if you go to the drugstore, and if you are, I, if you are flu, right, or cold, you have to ask uh, medicine gains, right? It gains what you're having, not for, because with some people, And I said this because I work in a drugstore. My childhood, right, in my life, uh, because my grandparents are having some drugstores, and I work there, selling, working, helping, right. And I remember that I served many people who came to the drugstore asking for medicine for the illness, not against the illness. And this is how Salvadoran people speak, right? We go to that place asking for it, not against the illness. I don't know if you're understanding this. Lo digo en español. Vamos a una farmacia y pedimos para, no pedimos contra. ¿Se han dado cuenta de eso? Vamos a una farmacia y decimos, me regala una pastilla para la gripe. ¿Por qué para la gripe si andamos gripe? You got it? Y hay palabras que son morphemes que nos ayudan a hacer ese contra. Y eso es lo que vamos a aprender, ¿verdad? Yes, it's true. Eso es lo que vamos a aprender. Vamos a aprender palabritas, letras, mejor dicho, letras que se le van a agregar a la palabra para dar un significado diferente. En una de estas clases, ya es mayor, ¿verdad? Les voy a presentar esto, Morphology, pero a TOEFL, ¿verdad? Como lo hemos hecho siempre, aplicado al TOEFL para que ustedes vean cómo es en el área de TOEFL, la importancia de dominar los morfemas. Me da porque hay palabras que, por ejemplo, UN, right? Creo que les expliqué una de UN y me da el significado diferente. El del able, y, entre otros, que me da un significado distinto a la root word. So I guess some of you can say now, I got it. This class is easy, right? But some of you maybe not. Maybe let me ask. I know that some of you like Johanna, who is always participating, asking to me, right? Thank you. And Celine are always there, right? Participating. That's okay. I like it. Thank you so much for being always asking, right, and participating. Thank you. But let me ask to others, because I want to be like clarifying this. And now I know that some of you can speak English very well, because the last Saturday I discovered this, that some of you are not participating, but you're having a good level of English. And I said, this lady is not participating in classes, but she's having a good level of English. Not right? And well, that was the first day I discovered your voice. And I discovered that your English is very nice in your level. And I, as I always say, right, when you are able to speak without any notes or any helping material, it means effort. Got it? It means effort. Let me see. Heidi Carolina, you're here. Nope. Okay, let me see. Oh, you have to speak. Can you speak? Oh, got it. Heidi. Oh, Heidi. Okay, Heidi. Have until this moment or so far, right? Have you understood the class? Didi? No. What about Maribel Torres? Have you understood the class, Maribel Torres, until now so far? Yes. Nope. Okay. Got it. Remember that this is
Yes.
recording, right? Okay. Okay. Thank you for answering. Remember that this is always being recorded, right? I mean, I am recording the classes and then I am uploading the classes to the campus. Um, these are proofs, right? You have to. Okay, let's go to the next slide. And it says in here morphology. Here you have some concept, right? It is a term which have no association with with language. when it was first coined by the German philosopher and poet Johann Wolfgang van Goethe in the 19th century. So this is the persons who introduced um, this concept, right? This framework to the language, to the linguistics. Maybe in the future, or maybe right, maybe person will be including something else to linguistics. Right now, we are complete, I think. But in this uh, time, this poet, this German philosopher, right, here telling to this community of linguists that it's important to learn or to work or to study the minimal unit of a word. Because it is very, for me, it's very funny when you're speaking, when you suddenly use maybe some little letters to that word and you change everything, right, to the language. But at the beginning, as you can see here, was not associated to the language. It was not associated to the language because everything, according to the epoch, just appear, right? And it's added. It's like the motive for a minute because it's, okay. It's like the modern economy. I don't know if you study social studies or you remember something from social studies, but according to the move of economy at the very beginning, if you want to be rich or if you want to be a rich person, you have to have a lot of things, right? And you have to be very strong at the very beginning of the humankind history. Then appeared feudalism, in which if you want to have a lot of money, right, you have to be the owner of a lot of lands. And the landlord ask for a rent to people, right? Then appeared after the printing press, appeared the Industrial Revolution, well, after the French Revolution, appeared the Industrial Revolution. And in that epoch, we discovered that the people must be paid according to a standard salary. And that's why we are having right now the minimal salary. Got it? So something that appear, right? Because the rich people in those epochs. Now we are living in the capitalism era, and these terms were just introduced to history. And I choose this comparison because just want to let you know, right, that maybe at the very beginning the word the term morphology was not associated to the language because we were using it, but we didn't pay attention to it. Like everything in human history, right? It's like this. Then you have to hear it was first coined to the biological text. However, the word morphology came from the Greek word morph, which means shape, form. It has sense, right? It makes sense because um yes, it work with shapings or forms of words, like having a root word to have this form, right? Into this form you cannot morph. You can change the meaning of something. So we can say that morphology is the philosophy, logos, of shaped forms. Still, we have not found any clue that morphology is a term related to language or linguistics. In biology and in geology, morphology means the structures or forms of the body and the areas of respectively. So just look up this, right? Because in biology means this, right? But for those who study language, for you, for me, and for your teachers, and for many people who are working or dealing with language every day, morphology is just the simple forms or shapes that we use, meaning to this those forms you can add more things to change the meaning of something. Got it? Well, then you have here morphology is concerned with the internal structure of words. So root verb, right? Those basic words and the rules for forming words from their supports, which are called morphemes. Morphemes are the smallest units in the structural analysis of words. Morphemes are not words. Okay, morphemes are not words. Morphemes are just some combinations of letters. Remember that we studied spatial sounds, and to the spatial sound, you were having some spatial letters, just letter, right? Like the, let me see, AY, for example, PL, LD, and you say, well, if you're having a word containing an LD, those LD, the L is not pronounced, just the D is like these, right? Like things. The smallest units means just letters. Morphology, and here you find that is the structure of the word. And into the, well, to that structure of words, you cannot morphemes. It means you cannot more little letters, and you can change the meaning. Okay, I hope until this moment you are learning and you are understanding. If you are not, please let me know it. Okay, if you are not learning something or if you are confused, let me know it. But I think that you are not right. I try to be very detailed to explain it, to explain to all my students why. But I think that this is not so difficult. Maybe when you are working on the exercises, but not today because today is just the introduction, maybe you will be needing more help. I think, or maybe not, right? Some of you, before studying the class, were asking to me. So it means that you were reading. Nice. So let me see. Oh, it's very related, right? Because when you say morpheme, do not confuse because phone, like phoneme or phonics, means sounds. Got it? Remember, lady? I'm not gonna mention your name because well, you say it to everyone. Nice, Joanna. When you say phoneme, which are little letters, right? You are referring to sounds, maybe spatial sounds into words, like the example before. Yes, those are the smallest parts. But once, but listen, when you say phone or phoneme, you are referring to sounds, okay? But when you say morpheme, you're referring to little letters which change the meanings of the word. You got it? You are not referring to the sound of the word. You are referring to the meaning of the word and how the meaning can be changed according to those little letters, means morphemes. But in phonemes are just the sounds, those smallest parts of the word that can change the sounds or the pronunciation of the word. Now you got it? Okay. It says in here, the morphology of something is foreign, is it foreign and structured right? Well, morphology in general, if you say morphology in general, it's like this, right? Wait a minute. It's like this. The internal structure of words. Which is this, the internal structure of words? Well, clean. Clean is the internal structure of the word, right? Because if you say clean, okay, got it, clean. To you, a lot of picture comes to your mind, right? Maybe your bedroom right now. I don't know if your bedroom right now is clean. Maybe that picture can come to your mind. Clean. And you say, clean bedroom. My goodness, my bedroom is unclean. So you change it. Maybe, right? Or you say, well, I will be changing this picture. I see myself cleaning my bedroom. So you change it once again because you added something else, which means more things. The smallest unit, but it's not related to sounds, related to the meaning. Oh, you are right. No sé si la vamos entendiendo, pero vamos a decir así. No se me confundan hasta aquí. El compañero mencionó que si morfología es, permítame, no es el que invente, ¿verdad? Morfología es, la morfología de algo es su forma o su estructura, ¿verdad? Bien. Y yo les respondía que morfología tiende a estudiar o a relacionar la estructura interna de una palabra. ¿Y qué es eso? Bueno, una palabra en sí. Esta palabra se conoce como root word. Ya vamos a ver eso un poco más adelante. Pero yo les ponía el ejemplo de clean. Si yo les digo clean y les menciono el verbo clean, ¿verdad? Muchas imágenes van a venir a su mente, ¿cierto? Muchas. Probablemente, como les mencionaba, la primera imagen va a ser la de su cuarto. Se dice clean, mente en mi cuarto. Bueno, a esa palabra interna, puedo agregarle a subpartes, como dice el concepto, que se le van a conocer como morfemas, que va a ser la pequeña unidad o la parte más pequeña, que son unidades, pero no es la palabra, sino son unidades, que significan letras, a esa root word, a esa estructura interna. Clean, mi cuarto, y produzco, ¿verdad? Y digo, I'm clean, no está limpio. O clean, les decía, y me veo, me llevo a mí mismo, me transporto al cuarto y digo, me veo a mí mismo en la tarde cleaning. Entonces cambié. Ahora, en lugar de solo clean, le agrego una parte pequeña y digo cleaning. Cambio el significado. Pero morfema, perdón, fonema, como mencionaba la compañera, sí son pequeñas partes o pequeñas unidades, es decir, letras, pero tienen que ver con la pronunciación. Y yo entiendo, vamos a ver, la misma palabra, I'm clean, ¿verdad? I'm clean. Clean, I'm clean. ¿Ok? Si usted ve I'm clean escrito, usted sabe que ya no significa clean, ¿verdad? Sino que es lo opuesto. Pero eso es un morfema. El morfema me indica el significado opuesto del verbo clean. Pero ¿qué hace el fonema? El fonema me ayuda a entender lo escuchado. Por ejemplo, en el examen TOEFL, que es una de las partes que más cuesta, entender el am, y es una parte negativa. Una pronunciación, esa pronunciación me indica que también es algo negativo, pero en uno es simplemente leído, escrito, lo agrego, pero en el otro es pronunciado. Y a veces la pronunciación, ¿verdad? The listening is more complicated than the reading sometimes. To some of you, but some of you can say, now listening comprehension is easy for me. Maybe. Because I have been having some students who are very skillful in listening. That's nice. So in linguistics, also morphology must refers to study, which is related to the forms of language. So this is something we have been already mentioning. The most basic form of language is the word. Thus, we can say that morphology is the study of forms of words. Yes, right, it's the forming of words. Well, you have just one word and you can add to that word some affixes. Ojo, digo affixes y no digo prefix ni digo suffix. Dije affix. Si no lo saben hasta este momento, lo cambia, pero aquí lo tengo más adelante para que vean que es un affix. Por eso no estoy diciendo prefix o suffix, no digo de una sola vez affix. Y sí, to be more specific, morphology is the branch of linguistics that study the information of words and their internal structures. So you can divide, just think about those derivation, right, of words. You have a word and you can divide the words maybe into a tree diagramming, like the syntax. Because in syntax, you can use the tree diagramming. Yes, Celine, that's true. Affix is the general term. Nice. Excellent. So just like a tree diagramming, right? No sé si alguna vez han visto un diagrama ustedes. ¿Ya han visto un diagrama en sintaxis? No los que llevaron pragmática el siglo pasado, ellos sí ya lo vieron. Pero ustedes que no han llevado eso, have you ever watched diagramming, a tree diagramming, or a word order diagramming, or a Chomsky diagramming? ¿Ya han visto un diagrama? ¿Saben cómo funciona un diagrama?
In my case, no.
No, you haven't.
I
Let me see. No, you say no. Okay, let me add this to you. Wait a minute. I will be looking for it here I have something. You said no. Nice. Les voy a mostrar un diagramming para que se den una idea de que lo del morfema que les hablo, que se imaginen la palabra descompuesta en un diagrama, ¿verdad? Que esto es esto en la palabra, que esto me ayuda a esto otro en la palabra, que esto me ayuda a aquello otro. Lo mismo hacemos con el word order, porque cuando hablamos de word order o syntax, hablamos de lo mismo que estamos diciendo acá. And this is a diagram. Maybe you haven't, right? Well, some of you said, no, I haven't. And some of you say, maybe. Some of you can say, yes, I watched this, right? Esto es un diagram. So you can see it. Esto es word order. A esto se le conoce como word order. ¿Qué ha hecho aquí la persona que hizo este diagrama? Simplemente descompuso descompuso las partes del utterance, ¿verdad? En la high-parted speech. Así de simple. Aquí, con solamente el hecho de ver una línea, yo distingo si es un predicado nominal, si hay un objeto directo, si hay un objeto indirecto, un objeto de preposición. ¿Comprenden? El tipo de verbo es, de acción, si es un verbo, si es un linking verb, si es un verbo de acción, si es intransitivo, transitivo, así. ¿Got it? Ahí están todos los adjetivos según su ubicación, ¿verdad? Según su ubicación en la línea, yo descubro los adjetivos. Esto es word order, esto es syntax. No lo vamos a ver así porque la materia no da para eso, solamente me pide que toque los temas. Pero sí ya lo he enseñado en la universidad, todo, en otras materias, ¿verdad? Que son un poco más avanzadas. Pero deben de saber. Got it. Is a phoneme is the same as phoneme. Morpheme, sorry. It's the same. No, Johanna. No, it's not the same. Remember, morphology. You can see here, morphology. Here you have some examples. Morphology. We can say that morphology is the study of forms of words. Morphology is the general term, okay? Morphology is the general term you can use to say, like, phonetics, right? Phonetics is a general term. Morphology is the general term. Morphology is study the forming of words. ¿Ok? La morfología estudia las formas de las palabras. No es un morfema, ¿ok? El morfema es la unidad más pequeña de la palabra. The combination of vowels and consonants. No, permítame, quiero leer bien el concepto. Oh, no, you got it. No, morphology, es el estudio de las formas de las palabras, de la estructura de la palabra. ¿Ok? Como por ejemplo, studies. ¿Ve studies aquí abajo? Vamos a ver. Voy a agarrar aquí un lápiz. Minute. Aquí. Agarremos este puntero. Tenemos la palabra study. Esta es la palabra, ¿verdad? Aquí aplicamos la morfología. Estudiamos study. Rápidamente. Estudiamos study. Permítame que pase. Ok. Estudiamos study. Morfología. No gramática. Okay. No sintax. Vamos a decir, no study porque es tercera persona del singular, le agregamos IES porque termina en Y precedido por consonante. No, ¿verdad? Eso no es. Morphology no se va a meter a esa área. Morphology viene y dice, estudiemos la palabra, dice, la palabra puede ser transformada. Bueno, me puedo auxiliar, dice, de sintaxis, quizás, pero la palabra se transformó por ella. Ahora, la palabra en sí debe ser study. Pero a study yo le puedo agregar morfemas. Morfemas son unidades pequeñas. Son esas pequeñas unidades que le voy a agregar a la palabra. ¿Para qué? Para cambiar su significado. En este caso, aunque lo traduzcamos, dice lo mismo, pero usted sabe de que está utilizado sintácticamente hablando por la tercera persona. Entonces, los morfemas son las pequeñas unidades agregadas a la palabra. Puede que la transformen su forma, por eso es forma, ¿verdad? Una forma se puede transformar, o shape, porque usted puede moldearlo. Entonces acá, study puede modificarse con algunos morfemas. ¿Entienden? La palabra, la estructura, la forma se puede modificar por morfemas. No solamente por IES, también puede ser ING, también puede ser puede ser en el pasado, ¿verdad? Entonces puede modificarse. A eso se refiere el morfema. El morfema, la pequeña unidad, las pequeñas letras agregadas a la palabra, a la root word. Y morphology es el estudio de toda la forma. Es decir, es la rama lingüística que estudia las formas. Is a branch of linguistics which studies the form or shapes of the words. And that's it. And morpheme are those little letters added to the form to change the meaning. Got it? To express to you just the meaning, just the meanings. Con el simple hecho de agregar morfemas, usted sabe también si es un significado opuesto, ¿verdad? O si es un pasado, un presente, un futuro, un continuo, un progresivo, lo que sea. Pero no va a estudiar en ningún momento el tiempo gramatical, porque entonces ya sería gramática. Entonces, until now, you have been understanding the class? Yes. Recuerden que estamos en la introduction. Creo que sí, ¿verdad? Hemos estado entendiendo. Joanna? Yes. Until now? Okay, you say yes. Nice. Thank you. Okay, continue. Bueno, eso ya lo expliqué. Vamos a ver un pequeño video de esto. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I am just trying to. I think. Wait a minute. No funciona. No. Okay, pay attention.
The last 5 words of Spelling List 1 were all related by their Latin roots. So this is an excellent place to see and discover the power of morphology. The very first word that I want to look at is the word conflict. Conflict. Now, you'll notice conflict begins with con. Con is not a standalone word in English. However, con means with or together in Latin. And flict is actually a Latin word that refers to strike. So a conflict is striking with or together. And you can kind of picture the imagery of what it means to have a conflict where people are striking one another, whether with words or hopefully not physically. And we can compare this to words such as inflict, which means to strike in, or to afflict. The prefix "af" means to or towards, so to afflict means to strike to someone or towards them. The next word I want to look at is the word contract, and you'll notice in contract we also have con. And the root here then that it's combined with is tract. Now, tract is a great root because it actually means to pull. If you think of a tractor, what does it do? It pulls. Or to extract something, you pull it out. And so contract means literally to pull with someone. And isn't that an interesting picture of what it means to write a contract with someone? We're going to pull with or together. The next word I want to look at is contest. Now, this one is a little bit more clear because we know what a test is. And so a contest is a test with or together with other people. And that makes perfect sense with its meaning. The next word is compact. Now, with compact, we need to first look at the fact that the con changed to com. And in Latin, there is this thing called assimilation, where if you try to say compact, you'll notice it's very difficult to say. But if you change that n to a compact, because the p is on your lips as well, it's simpler to say. And so Latin prefixes can assimilate to the first letter for ease of pronunciation. But a pact is an agreement. You can think of it as a pact that was written, or it's like a contract that was written together. And so compact is joining together an agreement to write it. So that would be the definition of a compact, as in the document. And then you can also think about something that's compact as in it's pressed tightly together. They're joined tightly together. Kind of in agreement. So sometimes these roots, you'll see the meanings evolve over time, but you can see how it started with that meaning. The last one I want to look at is complex. Complex. And you'll notice once again, the prefix is assimilating to this root. Can you think of other words that use plex, such as multiplex or duplex? So plex means part. And something that is complex is with many parts, which makes sense. So a complex number in math is one that is made of many parts, factors that can be multiplied together. A complex problem is one with many steps to it. So as we begin to learn words, learning the phonograms is really, really helpful to understanding how they're spelled. But when we begin to recognize the roots and their meanings, we can often have clues to the meanings of unknown words as well.
So nice, right? So if you notice right there, some Latin words she mentioned, right, have just that meaning, like the ones that I explained to you at the beginning, right? When you go to the drugstore asking for something, no, you have to use the correct morphemes to ask something. For example, you had something for you, because your flu, because you're cold, you have to ask for it, something that is begins that things, not for it, right? Because you're having it. So some words like these ones, some are things like these ones, coming from Latin, from Greek, from German sometimes, giving some meanings. For example, come, she said, well, come, just the word comes are the combinations of those letters, right? Together are not giving to you any meaning, but they are coming from Latin. So it means with, she said, like in our language, right? Like con, like contigo, and you know that the word con means come, right? Something's like coming to be part of something. So that's why the importance of morphology in this case, right? Or the morphemes. So right now we have to continue. And it says in here, wait a minute, yes. You cannot divide a morpheme into smaller minimal full parts because the morphemes are the minimal parts, right? You cannot divide the morphemes. You cannot divide, for example, full, no, right? You can't. You can divide a word according to its syllables. For example, you can divide wonderful into three syllable wonderful because syllables are determined by sounds. And this is something that I explained to you at the beginning, right? Excellent. Very, very nice, Celine. So remember that I explained to you the syllables, right? When we were studying philology, that I told you that syllables in English are counting according to the sounds or vowel sounds. but in the Spanish language, we count the syllables according to the vowels appearing in the word, right? However, morphemes are not determined by sound. Remember this, right? For morphemes are attained through meaning. Esto es lo que le explicaba a Giovanna y a todos al inicio. Que los morfemas no son determinados por el sonido, sino por el significado. Si estamos hablando de sonidos, entonces vámonos a los fonemas. Pero en este caso estamos hablando de significados. Lo que determina esas little letters, ¿verdad? Agregadas a la root word. Significado, puro significado. Tampoco es gramática, no se van a confundir. Every morpheme must contribute a certain meaning to the word. So the word wonderful can be divided into two morphemes, wonder and full. Va a ser dividido entre dos morfemas, dice, entre wonder y full, ¿verdad? Claro, porque ya van a ver una tabla que tengo acá para que ustedes noten los afixes y la importancia de estudiarlo. ¿Qué significa contra? Yo sé que en gramática española, no sé si se llama todavía, pero ya por primer año, no estoy diciendo que ya lo saben, porque no voy a decir, esto ustedes ya lo saben, pero en gramática española, yo sé, I know that this is something that the teacher taught because I remember until now, since 2008, just think about, I studied Spanish grammar in 2008, and I remember this class. That's why I say, I told you, right? First, that this is something that you already studied. When you had wanderer, then fool, but in Spanish, now in English. Together, these two morphemes form a new word with new grammatical function. But none of these morphemes can be divided into more parts which contain meanings. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? Miren, tal cual lo descubrió la compañera Ivana, el morfema es muy parecido al fonema. Es la pequeña unidad, la pequeña parte de la palabra, agregada a la palabra, o la pequeña parte de la palabra. Pero uno tiende a estudiar el sonido. En este caso, cuando estamos hablando de sílabas, hablamos siempre de los fonemas. Y nosotros ya estudiamos que las sílabas se cuentan según el número de sonido vocálico. Pero cuando hablamos de morfema, nosotros no vamos a contar sílabas, vamos a contar significados. No sé si me estoy dando a entender. ¿De dónde proviene cada cosa agregada a la palabra? Eso voy a contar. No voy a contar el sonido, sino el significado. Por ejemplo, wonder and food. O el que teníamos al inicio con la música, conflict, decía él. Conflict. ¿De dónde viene con? ¿De dónde viene flit? Eso es lo que tenemos que estudiar. Muy bien, por eso estamos en la introducción. Oh, got it. Thank you for letting me know that, Celine. I will be checking. Voy a revisar ese plan de estudio hoy para ver si es cierto que es raro, pero bueno. O a lo mejor tenía otro nombre. Nice. Veamos esto. Root words, roots, and affixes. Vamos a estudiar esto de acá. La raíz, ¿verdad? Root words. I know that I'm not going to say because I think and I am always thinking, and I do agree when some people say that it's not okay to say to student, this is something that you already know, right? No. I guess that it's not appropriate to say to students, guys, this is something that you already study in that year. No, right? Sometimes I said, I can say that this is something that you already study, but if you haven't, don't worry, I will be explaining to you. These are the words that I use, right, to my students. But I'm not going to be assuming that this topic is not complicated. This is something I can say, right? That I can say, according to my experience and to the group of students who are always in front of me, are not topic that you can say, wow, what a complicated topic. All right. Yo asumo, voy a asumir, no voy a decirles, ya lo estudiaron. Posiblemente algunos de ustedes sí. Otros no se acuerden. Y otros me pueden decir, no, ese día estaba platicando. No sé. Voy a pensar también que no es un tema difícil. ¿Por qué? Porque no vamos a desarmar una bomba. Vamos a estudiar nada más palabras. Así que prestemos atención, eso sí. Dice, many English words are formed by taking basic words and adding combination of prefixes and suffixes to them. Ahora sí estamos mencionando temas como, perdón, palabras como prefixes and suffixes. Así, si yo quito esto de acá y digo, ¿qué es un prefix? ¿Alguien puede escribir en el chat lo que se le venga a la mente que es un prefix? O un suffix, lo que usted quiera. Sin buscarlo en Google, ¿verdad? Lo que se le venga a la mente. No one. Okay, nice. It says añadir. Muy bien. Or li says in here. Wait a minute. Añadir al final a una palabra. Y small parts add to the beginning of words in order to add it. They add it at the beginning of the word in order to change the meanings. Nice. Bien, no puedo ir en contra de ustedes. Es eso, ¿verdad? Tienen la idea. Eso es bueno. Eso sí, que no le vamos a decir a un estudiante en el futuro, si me pregunta, ¿y qué es un suffix? Ah, un suffix es añadir LI, ¿verdad? O añadirle ER a la palabra. Si vamos a comparar. No, ¿verdad? No, no, no. Pero está bien porque tienen la idea. Ese es el punto. So that's the main idea. That's nice. That's nice. That's very accurate, right? When you have that main idea, that's the point. And here you find a basic word to which affixes, ya aparece la palabra affixes y dice prefixes and suffixes en paréntesis. Ya lo había dicho Sailin al inicio, había dejado un concepto. Si estamos en clase lo leímos, ¿verdad? Es muy bueno el concepto que había dejado. Are added is called a root word because it forms the basis of a new word. The root word is also a word in its own right. For example, the word love, lovely, consists of the word love and the suffix live, right? Ahora, aparece el término affix, creo que no lo tengo aquí, affix, sí lo tengo. Aparece el término affix y quiero que vean que está entre paréntesis, prefix and suffix. Celine dijo al inicio, affixes are, affix, she said, is the general term used for reference to prefixes and suffixes. I am paraphrasing, so sorry if I didn't say it correctly, right? Or at using the same words that you use. But she says something like this. Yes, Joanna, exactly. Nice. It says root words, roots, and well, the same, right? Aquí sí, miren. Aquí aparece lo que tenía la muchacha en el video, en la explicación. Thank you, Celine. Great roots. Anthropo, auto, bio, tron, dyna, and these. Si se fijan, estos son prefijos, ¿verdad? Perdón, root words. Estas son las root words. ¿De dónde viene cada palabra? Entonces usted dice anthropo, definición, main human, humanity. Examples, anthropologist, philanthropy. La antropología, que tiene que ver con el estudio de los comportamientos sociales del ser humano, porque viene de antropología. Claro, son cosas que nos van a salir en el examen. Están viendo root words acá, auto. ¿Qué significa auto? Significa self. Autobiography. Bio significa life, biology. Chron significa time, chronological. Dyna significa power, dynamic. D significa bad, dysfunctional. Y así. Son root words. Recuerden que nuestro idioma, ya sea el español o the second language you're learning, is a combination of some more languages, right? En el inglés, en el idioma inglés, usted puede encontrar palabras italianas, alemanas, francesas, combinaciones, derivaciones también del griego, del latín, para crear los idiomas que conocemos ahora, como el inglés y el español. Yes, it is right there, Celine. It is right there. Vaya. No y sí. Vaya, Josué. No y sí, ¿verdad? No y sí, como los memes. No y sí. Aquí tenemos un concepto. Escuchemos el concepto. La morfología viene siendo como la base. Permítame un momento, permítame un momento. Ok, sorry. It says in here, la morfología viene siendo como la base en la que van los prefijos y sufijos. No y sí. No, porque la morfología estudia las formas de las palabras. Estudia la estructura interna de la palabra. La morfología ve la palabra y dice, esta palabra puede ser derivada, esta palabra puede ser transformada, a esta palabra le puedo agregar y quitar. Eso es la morfología. Y te digo no y sí porque sí se le agregan prefijos y sufijos, pero no podemos decir a la morfología, sino a la root word, que es la raíz de la palabra. ¿Estamos? Es lo que estamos viendo ahorita aquí, en el cuadro que tienes enfrente. Son root words. Una root word, te lo pongo un poco más sencillo. Una root word puede ser también, vaya, el verbo work. Work es un root word. A work, ¿qué es lo que va a hacer la morfología con work? La morfología va a estudiar a work y va a decir, al verbo work yo le puedo agregar algunas cosas. Por ejemplo, work, working, works, worked. ¿Entiendes? Le agregué sufijos al verbo work, que sería la root word para la morfología. La morfología no quiere saber su conjugación. A la morfología no le importa si está en presente, en pasado, a ella no le importa si es por la tercera persona. Ella nada más te ayuda y te dice, esa palabra puede ser transformada. Tú le puedes agregar una S, tú le puedes agregar una ED, tú le puedes agregar un ING, a work, a root word, pero no te va a explicar, ¿verdad? ¿Por qué se lo vas a agregar? No te está diciendo, puede ser transformada, podemos agregarle unos sufijos, pero si tú quieres explicaciones, ve y pregúntale a la syntax. ¿Comprendes? Porque esa rama te va a explicar. Yo nada más te estoy diciendo que puede ser transformada. Te explico cuántas transformaciones tiene. 3. Pero si me preguntas más, como sus funciones gramaticales, no, tienes que ir a la syntax. Excelente. Very good, Joanna. Pero no se confundan, ¿verdad? No vayan a decir morphology, estamos hablando de morfología y quieren explicar hasta el tiempo gramatical. Ya nos metimos a syntax. Very good. Excellent. Nice. Now you had affix in here. Bueno, yo tengo este gran concepto, pero la verdad que me gusta más el de Celine, que ella dice, so root word is a portion of the word that reminds when all prefixes have been removed and have been added, right? Pueden ser removidos o agregados, Carlos. Pero así es. I like this concept from Jaylene, right? Let me see. I got mine right there, but I like this one. Affix is the general term that covers them both. True. Affix is a general term that covers prefixes, infixes, and suffixes. Let me see if I had this word here. Nope. No, I didn't add it. Okay, pay attention to this one. It says in here, is the general says right here. Creo que tengo. Ok, vamos a ir en orden. Prefix, ya sabemos, ¿verdad? Affixes, ya sabemos que es es el término general para hablar de todas las derivadas de la palabra. Y entre estas derivadas, yes. Y esas derivadas a la palabra, y estas derivadas, como les menciono, pueden ser prefixes, que ya sabemos que un prefix y estas derivadas pueden ser prefixes, que un prefixes son esas little letters agregadas al inicio de la palabra. Luego aparecen suffixes, voy a dejar de último infixes. Luego aparecen las suffixes, que son esas little letters agregadas al final de la palabra. Y luego dice infix, que es un infijo, ¿verdad? En español. Infixes. Quizás este término va a ser algo nuevito. Pero ya lo han hecho. Un infix son esas little letters agregadas en medio de la palabra. ¿Entendieron? Podemos derivar, recuerden la palabra, vamos a ver, déjenme pensar en una para que la entiendan mejor. Vamos, déjenme pensar en una. Veamos. Ok, nosotros tenemos la palabra inseminate. Si yo tengo la palabra inseminate, correcto. At the beginning of the prefixes, in the middle of the infixes, and at the end the affixes. Si yo tengo la palabra inseminate, yo puedo decir, bueno, lo que está en medio, letras agregadas en medio de la root word van a ser los infixes. Las agregadas al inicio van a ser los prefixes y las agregadas al final tienen que ser los prefixes. La derivación de la palabra. ¿Cuántas cosas derivo ahí? No, 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 no. Es que tienen que ser palabras. Permíteme, estaba buscando un ejemplo porque se me olvidó colocarlo, sinceramente. Para que me entendieran bien. Tienen que ser ejemplos como en español el panadero. Someone want to participate?
Yeah, I was saying like in the root word you put anthropo, the word philanthropy is like kind of in the middle of the word.
Nice. That's one, and another one you can say, vaya, vamos con self. ¿Se acuerdan de self? Porque no estamos hablando solamente de una palabra como work. Self, ¿qué significa self? Significa propio, ¿verdad? Auto. Self, algo propio, yo. A self le puedo agregar un prefix. Agreguémosle un prefix a self. Vaya, les explico. Veamos. Ahí en el chat se puede explicar. Para que me entiendan bien. Porque la root word, cuando hablo de root word, no solamente hablo de una... ¿cómo les explico? De una... Solo como una palabra ya dada como work. También una derivación. Usted tiene la palabra self, ¿verdad? Oh, sorry. Self. ¿Ok? Tiene un prefijo am. Y tiene un sufijo ich. La infix va a ser esa parte del self. Ahí hay un infix agregado que sería el del self en este caso. Entonces yo lo cambio. Si yo digo self pitch, selfish, ¿qué significa selfish? Solo selfish, egoísta, ¿verdad? Pero si yo lo cambio a selfish, cambia su estructura a altruista. Entonces lo que va insertado en medio, o sea, la root word en medio, a eso le conocemos como infix. Esa root word que está en medio y lo que está al inicio, prefix, y lo que está al final, suffix. Aquí, correct, sorry. Yes, you're right. Then you have here, one method of understanding the meaning of new words is to analyze the different parts of the word and the meanings of those parts. Bueno, lo que acabamos de hacer, ¿verdad? Analizar la palabra, toda la palabra. Analizar toda la palabra. No dice, bueno, la palabra, esto proviene de esto proviene de aquello. Analizar toda la palabra. Nos ayuda, quizás, para el examen TOEFL no van a estar ustedes analizando la palabra, ¿sí, verdad? Pero como ya van a tener una buena base, por ejemplo, ahorita han conocido cosas que quizás no sabían hoy a las 6 de la mañana, ¿verdad? De aquí parte el hecho de que usted siga estudiando más. Sorry for the noise. Okay, here you have, when affixes are added to the beginning of root word or root words, they are called prefixes. For example, the most common prefix is an, which means not or opposite of. If you add an to the word unhappy, happy, the new word becomes unhappy, which means not happy. Well, I guess you got it right. Now you had here prefixes, examples of prefixes. Anti, bueno, ¿se acuerdan que les pensaba? Anticlimax. There, right, it means opposite of well, value, this, discover. Remember, cover, cubrir. Opuesto, descubrir. And so on. Eso es un prefijo desde acá. Por eso es cuando vamos a la farmacia no decimos, regáleme una pastilla para la gripe, sino una pastilla antigripal. Got it? Pero es raro que la gente diga, me den una pastilla antigripal. Casi siempre dice para la gripe. Hasta yo me incluyo, sinceramente. Pero sí no tendríamos que hablar así, ¿verdad? Ni decir esa cosa, sino, me vende una pastilla antigripal, no una pastilla para la gripe, porque gripe ya anda. Ese sería el prefijo y su significado. And then you have the suffix, like able. Definition is, can be, right? Like affordable. Insensible. Having characteristics of universal, facial. Past tenses, verbs, adjectives, the do, what, the what. Pero entiendan cuando dice tiempo de los verbos en pasado y cuando dice adjetivo y cambia el verbo de uno al otro. Si lo entienden, ahora si no lo entienden, se los puedo explicar rapidito. And, made up, golden, and so on. Estas serían las derivaciones. Y that's it. So guys, we're gonna be finishing right now the class. In the second block, you're having a recorded class and an activity and activity assessment, formative evaluation, but this is not gonna be taken into account as part of the first or second period, the second lab or the midterm exam. That's just for something in which you can participate. So that's all. Thank you for coming. Okay, have a blessed day and a nice day. Goodbye.
Thanks, Mr. Likewise.